Hi, my name is Marcus. I'm a social worker with Touch Family Support, where we work with low-income families. Our work with these low-income families actually brings us into contact with those who tend to be more vulnerable in society, which certainly includes those who are victims of family violence. We are heartened to know that there are more people who are stepping forward to help. One such example I can think of is there was this lady who was very worried for her neighbor above her because there was a lot of fighting between the couple. And on one such instance where the screaming was very intense, the fighting was very aggressive, she even stood on a chair to get as high as possible to the ceiling so she could record the audio. And she sent that recording over to us as social workers, and we followed up with a home visit to support the family above her. Here are some practical tips I'd like to share if you witness incidents of family violence around you. Do acknowledge that something is going on. While it's a private matter for the family, it's also a public matter because it concerns someone's safety. It's natural if you feel worried about being a busybody and you don't want to do anything. Just remember that someone is in need of help and your small action could potentially save a life. Where appropriate, you can reach out to the victim to show some support or care. It's difficult to broach the topic of violence right away. Maybe you can start by asking, how are you? Are you doing okay? Another practical tip is to gather as much information as you can from a safe distance. Identifiable information is good, such as block number, unit number, age, gender, or other characteristics that can help identify the family in need. You can also offer details of the abuse, such as was it physical, verbal, were there injuries, weapons involved, or even how frequent were the incidents. Finally, it's good to highlight vulnerable individuals in the situation. Children, elderly, persons with disabilities. With the information you've gathered, you can call the National Anti-Violence Helpline to share that information or to seek some advice on what to do next. However, if it's life-threatening or there's immediate risk of harm, you should call the police, who are more than trained to deal with the matter. Here are some things to avoid. Don't approach the perpetrator directly. While we shouldn't ignore, we also shouldn't inject ourselves into the situation because it could potentially put you in harm's way, but also it might escalate the whole violence and cause more harm to the victim. Don't downplay the situation. It's easy to explain it away with, it could be a once-off or maybe I don't have the full picture. Just remember that you're dealing with somebody who could be in need. And if you do get a chance to speak to the victim and he or she says, no, I don't need help, just remember that sometimes it takes victims a while to feel ready to share or to get the help they need. The no could be a different cry for help. One more thing to note, it's much easier to spot abuse with people you know personally, like your friends, relatives, or colleagues, because you can observe changes in their behavior or the dynamics of their relationship. You never know who might be a victim of family violence.